So another funny story that happened when I decided to take my daughter swimming. She was about 2 at the time, a little bit under 2. We went to the local swimming baths. We'd already been swimming. It was a bit chilly. You get out and she's all like freezing cold and starting to go a bit hyper. So, you know what blokes are like, well, wham bam, thank you mum, start being dead quick. Straight in the changing rooms. The lockers are one side and the changing rooms the other side. It's the wristband with the key and the pound and that whole scenario. So I put her in the changing room, sat her on the seat, started taking her cosy off and what have you. Ran to the locker, opened the locker, got the bag, put the bag in the changing room, ran back to get me shoes and what have you. I'm in shorts, dripping wet. Turn round, she's only locked the changing room door behind me. I'm stood there shivering in shorts with no clothes, no towel, nothing. Everything's locked in the changing rooms. I said, Felicity's my daughter. Felicity, open the door now. She's behind the door, absolutely giggling her absolute pants off. Thinks it's absolutely hilarious. And if you've ever brought a 2-year-old swimming and get them out the bath, like I said, when they get a bit cold, they seem to go hyper and everything's like absolute, like a rush of blood to the head or something. So I went into the changing room next door and looked over the top, and she's running about going absolute crazy, giggling her head, adrenaline rush, like absolutely loving life. But what they had bars, so they had the bench there, but then like bars above the bench, so you couldn't climb over the stall cubicle kind of thing. So what I ended up having to do, well, I shouted at her, not nastily, but open the door now, and she wouldn't. But what I ended up having to do, which I thought was a good idea at the time, was climb over the top. But I had to climb onto the top of the cubicle, edge along underneath the bars, and then I only had a short space between the roof and the top of the cubicle. I had to get through that like James Bond, or is it Bruce Willis in Die Hard, you know, when he's climbing through the ventilation shafts. That was me climbing over the top of the cubicle, and then I had to abseil down like bloody James Bond head first onto the cubicle floor. And no doubt she was laughing every bit of the way. I'd scraped all me side, all me leg and everything. Stood up and she'd opened the door, hadn't she, from the inside at some point, and I didn't realise. So if anybody's seen me sleuthing over the top of a cubicle in the changing rooms in Redcar like some kind of bloody anaconda, that was me. Yeah, I do apologise. But at least I had pants on, because the last story I had my arse out. So saved me that dignity at least.